Okay. Omanhene Yaw.
Ade na bra.
What say? O share nipa kuo bi a omudi organized labor animu a. Any omo posturing. It got to a point in time a people felt
offered series of
Mame kwa homa no so. Mr. Bernard Ousu bi mo ache. Hello. Mr. Bernard Ousu. Mr. Bernard Ousu timenka. Okay. Wadaroma na yenim say na organized labor e de kokobo kese ato aban nim a omo na nim senka ene de nka adwumayefo nyina de wo munnyuma wo montade bibia begu a monko adwuma eno ayete se matwe asensen kakra pacho de na si yentra
Ghana adwumayefo nyina ne adwuma kese a yeti aye ma Ghana fo the kind of where different levels October and a year press conference at the two Ghana for in say yeah ma aban bosome baako and September ending say aban and normal be baako you and send the fa galamsey ho aye to aban and aban anya the betting kesukoko action.
That's right.
You can't say no I am bia aban emwa bosome no ewu ye bosome a ewu September ending and you be a press conference in my aban say aban emwa and dia and you declare a strike nka and anka at the beginning na yes ano aban no yinkunya President Efrey award the Flagstaff Efrey the Flag Jubilee House you could share President Sebi you call you know come on you know or my yeti say you might soon na say and some my yeti no the correct room you know say I can't first of all you say a emra or my say with me kutu the friends a good year your forest no any woman say you nsuwa no any ade no samra no you feel and I feel so aban fa sojafo enko a friend say ye nsuwa no so any your forest no me wona wo tu a friend say galamsey any small scale mining ni we ni na no ye pamo mo feel aban agitu aban edigu krata so the minister of friends labor at the prayer but the prayer no you catch aban say asem minister omo tro the buy na and yet time not enough and too broad there is no timelines near the attention omo my timelines any aban empanimfo ekukudam ekushia enura echi from 4 o'clock to 11 p.m. You know, Musu one, you know, Mokasaya na aban a day, pen. It be a de Maya. Now, I mean, over the Maya, no, you say, aban a show good faith, see, say, pen or the Maya, a day in was it, the cost, na, until the European sign, na, monitor, the aban akase obayeno. I say aban akase all need be more then we can resume to our action. It means I know about na a woman and
okay. Now the chance say aban ni mudi nkomo say eba nsuo no ho okono. Hello. Hello Utimenka. Yera Bernard Ousu. Oh, okay. I think sir he's made it clear to us nearly. Now the other thing say UTAG for there. Oma declare strike. Now, I want to find out, say, they are declaring strike based on what? She, Ade Bini, Ebrebi 2020, Omanhene Sobe Kaya, SMBC or University of Ghana, BBC Korea Research B. Now, involve Professor Jampo and one, now, Edi Kaba and say, Legon, University of Ghana, Legon. Lecturers in Yaya Day. sex for max. Ye sex for grades. Ye or Ghana. It's a Koviasiano. Omo SRT committee. A investigation. Omo no nipa mienu. And a bar said Omo ye complicit. Asante Akwaba. And Eba Sano. Yes, suspended Professor Jampo and the other lecturer, I've forgotten the name. Am I a case Omon corner, Omo ye federal day investigation? After 6 months, Professor Jampo was reinstated. Ote say a case because of sex for grace in tea. University lecturers in I suspended Omo. Debbie. Kwakubuahe. Yako campaign 2020. When Galam say Chremu, only Papaya or ye minerals commission and this friend say.
Oh, and this is time minerals commission.
Tony Obe. Muko Jrem. E catch Ghana for say. Mubaya or Mukoyo Majuma. Everything was so glaring, say Musu Soso. And on that chain. And now what's our quarter UTV Casse? Elections no 2020 a favor mo say some mo kan no adwuma dia tiemio the emphasis ni say adwuma dia okoye ye no omo winning enti no enche bia the MPP for can want take kra o sa akoye adwuma din and bande so dia be so Mustafa Deputy General Secretary me busa say TUC for why are they not condemning this one? What manner of hypocrisy is this? Oba John Mama Kai say eba obi biara woye dey woye yi wo ho no ye mama na koye and say no ne say tie me o right and say no ne say o ma ye dey wo ma nu omo me busa say enkomo be na Oba John Mama any a business ni kodi ya o ka chen so o ma nu omo ho do me mo amnesty. We do this to ourselves here. Yeah, we are near simply so. They are buying it so. How can you say, Baumia, Ekoye, Sino Hydro contract, and Nuntino, China for Momo Quine, Amomu Tusio, SANSU, MPP for Namomo Champagne, no movia, Sikao Munya Frimono, and on the year campaign, the government of Ghana, government in power, incumbent, also obey Pesikaye, aye elections are, oh here, Galamsesika. Oh, you know, too. It is so sad.
Who said Nipabia who hinted yesterday.
Ade
Akye Jabroni
Mundi no creba to say.
Kohunusio, Wabana Fabibusa. Gadam sent to quiet kono. A buy PNUA, Ubeti Abajan credit. A national issue. As so mining in an, you see a book. Nanano info kahun aso for kahun recently video bi anamere Ghana ni nyum tuni kase auto gospel bema ena no obi taba bi no bo ni din no ahye ni pasmesi gospel musician ono so agi site o okogaram say wotubi ne site ne da ho no a chese enya ba akofo ntokwa esi yi amanyo semne to nchen na ye nyina ye kabom se wo man wo ye wo hene na ye tubi wo mpatamu a wo de wo nan besi form say mamanfo eyi die no mo da chinti mempene nyese e diska bra wa no wage no ahya wo ntomam enkuntura se no wabo ani ache nkola se monko asofo yebi amanyofo yebi obi yebi eti e wo man ni nyina entokwako enesese yakon na yete wo mem na wo how say yaba no obi tumi be gina simpie so nyakukudro kase mjadie to say Mustafa Bandi.
You say such a thing with impunity, and we've not had one organized labor member condemning it.
Now, Mustafa Bandi asama woka ye. Na ye wie ni esa be twa ye ho. Ni e bebo aban ne sobo. Say na want to garam say. Say ade na want to o mase. Ni e wie ni esa kwa site ya. Ni aka kire say ye de ye ba. Ye bema mo tu a. Wan ye dada no. Organized labor. Ti de akwaso wo monte. Ana de ya keka se sika bia ba ho no eye no kore wo mani ahan aban se eye dialogue ye ntena se Yes, ya no ni anusi antutuma. Ye the airline na komrase be gesie. Ye be pomuja no ma ye. Edu dindi mu a. Yes kwa e bring to the ona akyere be ni akwaku abra. Apafo de edu mu gire ni mu. Sa soja fo kra eso ye do ko fight. Na ye nyina ye pre. Mo se da. Professor Jampachi Aswa anything ko.
Now let me tell I don't want to believe say UTAG for so omo striker. Omo on the basis of day.
Me say
omo dwuma ne ho asem ana eyewe ya.
Mama fele. Kofi dwuma mo ba bonti se wo ye bema ko strike. Wo be ko trade union for akwaji wakatua. Ghana Meteorological Agency for so
I met you for issue statement.
So ye wo pa Kobi. Ghana midwife one association.
Ghana national registered me for. I don't know that pay quite. Not Nagrat. Who ni pachen wo.
Mama fele.
And a teacher ni be a contra there. Hey, bro. I want to them one day strike or 2 days. Who ni abandon them obelus.
Ye ni pa. Bia on kan krese. Garam say bi how be praying. Enem kakra ye we animu.
Na won ye ni pa.
Ye man bofo. Nanso anyama no sem. Because I says ladies John Dramani mama kwani ato abama ne na sanse mu we koso me yin say na ni beje
what did you say how can you
what you
can't solve it
it is yin na ye ko ayenko na nye say ye ko gina ani aka ade foforo ye be gina ani aka ade foforo ye ko gina ani ye sekutu pam nkotu ye ba ani abayira ban ne kon e ka se wo mu nyai e di adea na organize labor for so agia yirim masa bia nya ko organa ho mama ho ada ho ye humo.
Sure, UTAG, I confirm it to my producer. I said they are going on strike. Based on what?
No,
me busa University Teacher Association of Ghana. Me busa almost say almost strike. No, they no mujina so call strike. I did not for months that Biana. I not that in Chade. It's one more there. On person much say one more. Citizens the chair will be. You see, now if UTAG is going on strike, TUC chairman, Menena Kasano Paya, almost say Abina as show faith. And no, organized labor, Omoka Winajia to say, Oma suspended. UTAG force you Omuko based on what? You see, we are
ni Ntiamoka. Mwasa besu
nanka tikabo motra fie be one man nanka boso me kagana fo nyina yeso ye duano betum se ma ba ni tuamoka
dia mo ye no asi
because organized labor no so of strike ajatum the entire organized labor obia so wonko Ghana Medical Association ko meboa nat nko nagrat nko Ghana registered nurses nko geological one nko civil cross agfo nko wo bu nyina ajai GPR2 for wo mo ene taxes in Yajuma, Toto Yajuma. Eti who UTAG for no more high.
Man, you want so be Kwama. Gun have and you want so be Kwama General. Ya brand Kwamu Chatting Chan or Jack Cotasono, the Adlasan Butumuntia. It's what I say, oh, Jane. I
buy no so, why any?
Not by
your country, say. Yes, a strike, no, my calling off, no. No, man, yeah, the same old thing. Another case of deja vu. We will not. Say, deja vu. The same old thing. Abino, I know my casa we are now, say, or my color strike, no. Nana domain koda.
You, and yes, on one as
Minister Jinapomen koda. Brasebeja for, yes, Nimu say, LI 246 now, Pamo be free, yeah, forest, no. Mon could say to say next week more resume mon pass it. If they strike again, nobody will speak for you. I'm saying this today. Ya mo be anya credit to Ghana ha. Credit them fatano. Opposition. You have to be a responsible opposition. Highly responsible statement coming from Bande. Coming from Kokubwahi. I don't know. But he has made an irresponsible statement. Say 2020 you're winning. Now, and the MPP forecast at 2020. One more pay a price. I galam say one. And this is for the binya no crack. Now I have one no name. Baby be a two galam say be a MPP winning. Now Kokuba say they won. Esan say omunya votes because of comments in some Mukodi. It was Sakobio with such impunity. And everybody keep quiet and not condemning it.
Professor John Ponte.
Not condemning it, you are going ahead. We allow certain few people. I say, Ghana, you're over there. Shabrante ya okoye eyi. Oya demonstration. Utu bien anoka say Ghana for mwa bebrebe. Obi wa na ya day. Then yes, I try for ye near free asem na brante de kan so. Yeah, okoda mu so ye man or idia. Yeah, see free citizens. Free citizens. Ghana am ready how.
Ghana hane de bra.
What manner of hypocrisy they tell me mu say?
What say ye moa? Ti say ye ate say.
The buy so say moa na tie gu montene so no. Me say buy e moa so na tie gu montene so a. Wo mo ye demonstration ye de moa no no. How can you open your mouth and say such a thing?
Sabia kakraka nti se usi kwa say wo ma kwa me enfo bia nkonkosa na ade a. De wo ye ne fa so wo.
There be the nipa no kra no kasa. Wo se Ghana for moa bebrebe. Obi wa na ya dey. Who is condemning that statement? The papa former MC, I'm in few West Saturday. And no friend already so what's in the banner no?
Yo.
It's the papa no say NDC ba power. Now I have former MC, you know the banner benefiting.
Ghana former
demonstration, strike, there is interest. There is so much interest. Now, Ghana for say you. So we will look at you with a certain eye and realize, for a certain advantage, nobody will have a galamsey advantage. Abana ya koto, ya ubetimi ya ne kami ya ntomau. Obia nya advantage. Na do amemu na nso wani a, wo to atia ba omi ato. But what to me kase opposition such an irresponsible statement. There will be nobody condemning it. They will even come and defend it. Now we are who fights Kalamse? As I tell Mama Mintio.
My anopemeda TV for answer.
My idea pa, you really spoke about it.
My culture say Nanado show fit say LI 2462 no. Or may make effort I could repeal in Parliament. You next week Parliament. Convening back.
So you know
and ye share. Omotie sebe omampanyi kasa like I said last this week now say omo kasa omo strike na the impact in consonance with the galamsey no it will be huge ebe oya na get two troubles one god ebe how man omotie. That's the first leg. The earlier suspicion say TUC for be sebe omo ko ejisika ni sanema no with this omo so take omo say omo nkono zo ebe ka say they make us assemble in Yabutre. TV4, they have listened to the wisdom. And then from majority of Ghanaians, they say, oh dear, Mama, the president or the governor benefit of the doubt say, so COE LI 246 to Nefru. Why? Yeah, and this week, Wednesday, yeah, in the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, and the Minister of Information, United States, when to just say, Abana Miki, the process, what this animal to
Dr. Ali. Right. Dr. Ilyasu Mumuni, good morning. Dr. Ilyasu Mumuni.
Oh, Doc.
Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning.
Napacha pom to say.
Nyamina dumo namuswe.
Echefo na ahwefo Dr. Ilyasu Mumuni ye UTAG General Secretary. Pepancho ya te say ma declare nationwide strike. I nipa bebre adwene kesene ne san say organized labor and raw mo de krata ba bontin say o must suspend the intended nationwide strike no it madam Roma dey pese busa say mo strike the very same issue and now say bia is something new.
Yeah, so thank you and thank you to your listeners. I think our strike is not something new. If you recall, UTAG, issued out a press statement. And in our press statement, we had actually given government a time period of up to the end of September to kind of institute some critical measures towards fighting the galamsey. Failure to do that, UTAG will advise itself. Subsequently, organized labor also came out and then and did same. But in our case, after September ended, and there was nothing inside. We triggered the constitutional process of UTAG as an association, and that has to do with writing to Labour Commission. That has to do with asking all electoral commissioners of all the campuses to start with the voting process. And everything has been done, and I'm sure you've seen a bit of some of the reports online about the decision of the over 8,000 members from all the 15 campuses. What has been the demand of UTAG? We understand how complex the illegal mining has become. Many households depend on it now for their livelihood. In fact, the economy itself gets quite a lot of support from the illegal mining. And it's because we have normalized the illegality into an everyday practice. So no one can run away from the positive impact of it. But you and I know of the negative impacts. They are huge on our water bodies in particular. The water bodies in particular, where almost all the major rivers across the country now are polluted. And if you now listen to the explanations of Ghana Water, to the level and margin of chlorine deposited into these waters to treat it for us to drink, we will not be interested in listening to any other thing except for especially the illegal part to be banned. Of course, it's already illegal, and so it should be banned. But then we know those who are mining closer to the water bodies and putting out all the mercury and other heavy metals into it, aside from taking farmlands. And so imagine if I come to give you 100,000 cedis as a farmer who has never seen 100,000 and taking your 10 acres. Can you spend 100,000 for the rest of your life? And so with this practice, UTAG said, let's ask government to ban. The ban can come in different forms: temporary as a measure, or a total, complete, permanent ban, especially when it comes to the areas that are very close to the water bodies. But unfortunately, our gold reserves are beneath our, shallow water resources. And that is where the challenge is. Where you have the gold deposited in the soil, it is always in those swampy areas where we have the surface water. And as soon as we attempt to, prospect for the gold underground, it means that we pollute this fresh surface water and everything goes agog. And so what should government, and that we instituted quite a long time before even organized labor came. And so when organized labor came, we were very glad. And we thought that because of the level of damage, let's push for government. Government has the power, and government can do it, at least temporary, so that we can have the waters coming back to some decent level. Because really, we don't want this to be a political issue for some people being against and some people not at all. And so we did that. Government came with some measures. But we are looking at the level of disturbance and destruction. With these measures, is it possible to bring back some level of improved contamination of the water bodies that we are seeing? Can that minimize in the short and long term the health impact on us, on the communities? No. Granted, people may be looking at the political expediency. Either they will vote or they will not vote. But if we just look beyond that voting thing and just come together as a nation to say that even if it is 3 weeks, let's stop and make sure our water gets back, especially in the rainy season. Immediately the rain season stops, that ends it. It means that for this year's raining season, we never had rain, because what we had, the water bodies all got polluted. But as the rains are still coming, can't we just pause even for 3 weeks, for 2 weeks, for a month?
Dr. Ade Akye,
make sure our water bodies calm down, And then maybe by that time there would have been some other measures like the Navy and military surveillance to continue with that support.
Dr. Eliasu, can I come in here?
Collectively, our membership says that let's go all out and let government know that they still have a lot to do to improve the situation and conditions.
Okay. Dr. Eliasu, these listed demands, I want to believe, are the very same the parent or the mother body TUC is also agitating and met with government. If TUC now says they've suspended it, UTAG is almost like standing alone because Ghana registered nurses, NAT, NAGRA, they've all pulled out. It is the very same issues we are discussing, we are talking about. Why this entrenched position?
The interesting thing is that UTAG, right from its formation, has always been a standalone union. And I think the framers of UTAG as an association had this vision about sometimes the challenge nature of organized labor. Of course, we have been very supportive of organized labor. We do attend their meetings. We support them in any way that makes it very critical for them to exercise their responsibilities as the bigger welfare group. But we have always maintained our autonomy and independence.
Do you feel disappointed by the statement?
In fact, organized labor cannot call a nationwide strike and it is binding on UTAG. This is what we want the general public to know. Anytime organized labor calls for a strike, an industrial action, it doesn't affect UTAG. UTAG will have to trigger its internal constitutional process. In fact, we teach the Constitution. We are just typically people who follow due processes and takes the box when it comes to these things.
Based on this, Dr. Eliasu, can I say that you are a bit disappointed with the decision from the parent body TUC to suspend?
And disappointment is just a mild word. Disappointment is a mild word. It's so disappointing, disrespectful, and unexpected. The level of support and consistency UTAG really has offered and supported organized labor in letting them see this direction. For us, with this instant U-turn, it is extremely disappointing. In fact, if it was that there was an additional message, there was an additional measure by government when yesterday organized labor met for a final decision on the outcome or otherwise of this impending strike, members would have been sober and reflective.
Okay.
But it only emerged that leadership of organized labor came to that meeting with an already prepared speech, typically to just announce without any other consultative build-up from amongst organized labor. And there is no organized labor if it is not these individual groups who makes up organized labor.
Okay. Dr. Eliasu, let me say thank you for your time. We appreciate your time. The General Secretary of UTAG, and is the CNO, 16 universities are on strike now. Asante. UTAG, the Penny Kaya.
Well,
di muso ombeko strike no.
Well, when say na omunyana isi ejina. But I say no omo bitterness and I say omo ye odi kakra ni say TUC and I say organized labor, the process of suspension of the strike, you know. Now they expected the same process like a dialogue about. But Dr. Eliasu and say she and from so nearby say o man to me and can't for now give the president or the government the benefit of the doubt. TUC for BBC ya kranwa Omanhene Yaw yidi. You see LI 2462 no, it's been put before Parliament. BBC is a bakoboa and the young train near head about kwakusi and in between aboa.
Many political science lecture. KNUST. Andrew Chinkomo. Okay. Good morning. Doctor, good morning. Dr. Otemenka.
Hello, Omanhene me share dan tell me nka phone so there. Lemo meet me who say me show me radio no me who say me say if I'm on air I think I can
go ahead by
who say no so air kakra.
Oh yeah, you tag
member.
member.
Me ka we say I'm speaking as a social commentator and you say you know what me ache. And I have some issues with especially UTAG ne others run air striking from educational institutions. My problem here is that the universities are supposed to be the research and the thinking hub of every government. And it's now the social problems about they said they want to cover time, KCCR, rural or play, and even the universities in a year vaccines are they saw yare. When you have a problem like Galamsey, me what I see is that it's a social problem that in Kawe Ghana Hano your institutions and universities are natural resources so your environmental universities your University of Science and Technology your law schools science and technology Greek natural resource land economy near there. We even teach politics of oil and gas or history and political studies department. I think that in a situation like this, the neutral institution to be able to do this thing, institutions like UTAG. For me, what you can do is to call all experts from all the universities. Maybe get a conference or whatever, symposium, BB, and then you invite all the stakeholders, including organized labor and government, And now, what to me, actually, because the experts are there, tell them the dangers you have seen from the field, and then come out with a communique, give them a roadmap. And we know the way because we are the experts. So far as I'm concerned, I said I'm speaking as a social commentator. I think that is what should be done. What is the roadmap from the university's outfits? What is the roadmap? Because we are supposed to be researching in the field. We take research allowance for that. And I think that we should focus on that and rather be at the center. Say, you bet me organize it. Ama nimdia was say nyano or atene hona kasa. Publish it. Let it come out. And then let's stand in the middle and make sure say that is my opinion on the issue. I am speaking as a social commentator.
Okay. He's a lecturer on political science and history. Doc Otemenka.
Yeah, hello.
Otemenka.
Phone no see I'm talking about on the radio.
Okay. And Sesiano, etino more parent body no say my omo strike. Eti mo na mo ya cheche for no na man ko kira de. Mitie u kasa na enra na ya bo amaso ka etwe adwe say e dey solution o ma prefer ebetimi ama ebetimi aye free because mo na mo wonim de eno na wo ato so no. Is it too late for UTAG to take such an initiative?
I don't think it's too late. Now, I think UTAG vote to any idea. If I understood it very well, the whole thing was prompted, and I say because organized labor, I can say on the day because organized labor there, it's UTAG and Kwan Eco Striker, the date could have been different. So once you have the date, put me who say. Campus was supposed to be part of saying elections.
That's right.
So if UTAG wants to stand alone, in my opinion, I think it's a different issue. Say UTAG and Eco Striker. Because for example, the voting that I saw and the discussions that went on before the voting, and you depending on the talk for. You understand?
That's
and
right.
The discussion that went on before the voting suggested, say, organized union na yako demonstration. It wasn't like UTAG alone was going to go on a demonstration. That is how I understood it anyway.
Okay,
I don't think it's too late. This time, we are on vacation, so a lot of things are already not happening. Me know because I will be in the office to do them. Because they are private issues. But what I'm trying to say is that assembly say we are supposed to be the thinking hub, the research hub of the nation.
Okay.
Yeah, Kebia, we should come with solutions.
Thank you very much. Abusiafo, my nani a home run sisia na agudi akomfo no emetna se. Na pachona me anyway. Okay.
Oh my. 1 second, so my.
Abranche na ba no second bia. And Miss Yen Kafufro. And oh, Asante Abua. And then I did Ade Akye in there. So Ade Akye. I was so busy. I tried to me ho. Ah, we are sounds me bulu.
Speaker.
Thank you.
Speaker.
Fancy. Enra me dawa me bomb nsema JF president.
Okay.
JF president.
Yes.
Me
nyo obi a JF president me. Ne niema so mani sa.
Okay.
But enra me bomb nsema.
Say coach, when you coach.
Enra me bomb nsema ba no. He is in charge of Ghana Football Association.
Yes.
You're busting up all the time.
Oh, yeah.
The lackadaisical attitude of the boys. And now he spoke his mind and he spoke the mind of Ghanaians.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Meba. Well, what's your name? Do the mic no. Chadio.
A coach Juma na oye.
Chadio, any coach Juma. He is a leader.
Pitch who also can be.
And some of the catcher